Here's to hoping that YouTube's upload issues have been resolved. So what happens is you upload a video and this goes video unavailable. When I did just a quick look over at the community page for YouTube, it's all over. So everybody's been having the same problem. And as soon as I saw that, and a moderator going, oh, they're looking into it, I was like, oh, they don't know what it is. Oh, looking into it. Looking into it means I don't know. Your guess is as good as ours. Did you try unplugging and replugging your video? I don't know. Power cycle it. But let's do a news of the day video, and I'll upload it, and we'll see if it works anyways. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and it'll work. Right? Right. Evander Kane. This is insane. This is really insane. He is being sued by the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Vegas, hotel and casino, and it's a beautiful hotel. If you ever see those shots overhead of the Strip, the Cosmopolitan's the one that's got the blue lights on the outside of the windows. It's really cool. The blue lights run across. It's really, really neat. But anyways, Evander Kane must really like it too because he owes them $500,000 for gambling markers. I don't know if he was playing poker or what he was doing. Hockey players love their poker, right? But $500,000. You can't tell me that he left not knowing he was down $500,000. Oh, right. I had my wads of cash, and I figured that I wasn't down money because I still had my wads of cash, which I assume he still carries around with him just to snuggle up to and stuff. Evander Kane is a very outspoken, very controversial individual, and this isn't going to change that at all. If anything, it's going to bring out even more people to say, we love Evander Kane. He's our favorite, but it's weird because this was done on April 13th. The markers are from April 13th, which was between games 3 and 4 against Vegas. So my question is, was he out doing this after curfew? Because my first thought is probably late night, right? So after the game, or maybe, day off, you go out, you play. So would this have been after curfew? Did they not have a curfew for the Sharks in the playoffs? Or was it on the day off? So was it on the day in between games, in the middle of the day, he's out gambling for $500,000, and they're suing him for court costs as well, of course. I just don't understand, because this means that at some point they contacted him and they said, hey, so you owe us $500,000, and he's like, oh, I don't like Vegas. No, we're not talking about whether or not you like Vegas. You need to pay us. No, I don't go to Vegas. And then hung up the phone or whatever he did. I'm just bewildered by all this. He's a heat magnet, is what it is. And it's funny because that's normally like a wrestling term that you use, like, oh, they draw a lot of heat. If he ever decides he's had enough of hockey and he wants to get into wrestling, oh, this is a natural bad guy right here. This is just the absolute natural. He would be champ and he'd be hated by everybody. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, but the fact that the markers are between games 3 and 4, I don't know. I think that in the middle of a heated playoff series, I'm not going to be going out. That's something that I don't think would cross my mind. But of course, I'm strange in that I've gone to Vegas a bunch of times now, and I don't gamble. I find that it's a much cheaper city if you don't gamble. I don't owe $500,000. There's no casinos coming to knock my door down. They email me regularly, like, hey, when are you coming back? What's going on? How you doing? And then they offer me, like, hey, we'll give you gambling credits because I don't gamble. So that's kind of the way it works, is if you don't, they kind of go, hey, if you want to, we'll give you some credits to help you out. We'll see what happens with this. This is going to be interesting. Just pay it. Just pay it. He's got money. He's making how much? He's got money. Just pay it. Pay it in installments. It's a good thing it's not the 50s, because if it was the 50s, his kneecaps would be in trouble. Right? Yeah. So hotels in Las Vegas and casinos in Las Vegas are run far more reputably than they were back then. Because back then, yeah, he'd be in a world of hurt. Moving along to news of the day. Noel Acciari and Trocheck are out tomorrow for Florida. Toninato makes his debut. And Matheson returns to action tomorrow night as well. A lot of injury news back and forth with that, all kinds of guys. And I just put up a few things that are related to injuries, not a lot, because honestly, we're at that time of year where it feels like everybody's getting hurt. Speaking of which, Bryan Little needed 25 to 30 stitches after getting a puck in the ear A lot of guys getting hit in the face with pucks and getting hit in the ear with pucks and whatnot. He's at last report. It sounds like he's still in the hospital, but he's going to get released if he hasn't been already. He was in. I think there's some concussion protocol in this too. They were doing like neurological tests overnight. So it sounds like will be okay. I don't know how much action he misses. I assume he misses their next game. If he doesn't, awesome recuperative powers. But and I've seen a lot of that. Now, moving on to another injury news thing. Klingberg's out at least 2 weeks after the Zadorov hit. They're saying lower body injury. But Klingberg got a puck in the head that game as well. And a lot of this, I think, is we've got a lot of these sticks now that allow you to shoot the puck at 90 miles an hour no matter who you are. And it's dangerous out there. I don't know what the NHL does about it, but we are reaching a point where, and we'll see whether or not this is just a rash of freak injuries and it goes away. But there does seem to be an issue with either with the sticks or just with safety equipment. And we've seen this in other sports. A good example would be auto racing. Auto racing, you can go at a certain speed, and past that speed, it is really mortally dangerous. It is, these guys are going to die at this speed kind of thing. And so there's been times where they've gone, okay, your top speed allowable is, and that's in racing. And where they'll scale back the power of a car just a little bit. And sometimes just to make it a little more competitive. Now, in this case, I don't know what you do from a hockey standpoint. That's why I had to go to auto racing, because I'm not sure what you do from a hockey standpoint. I know that football changed helmets, and that seems to be, worthy of looking at if you're the NHL. There are helmets that have been designed that would make it so that head injuries would be not eliminated, but they shouldn't be as severe. Now, do those helmets look goofy? Absolutely. Yep. Are they safer? Yeah. Are we in a league of men that wouldn't want to look goofy? Yeah. Yeah, we are. So there would be a stigma attached to that, but at some point there's just too many guys taking pucks right now in the ear. And I've talked about injuries, facial injuries too, that go on, and it just feels like they could do something to ramp up the safety just a little bit, and let's hope that they do that. Speaking of injury news, the Avalanche, who are still without Rantanen and Landeskog. Rantanen, the update on him is that he's week to week. They're 0-3-1 without the two of them. And, for anybody who wants to go, oh, look, they don't have any depth. Take the top two players out of most lineups in the NHL, you're going to get a result like that. If the Bruins lost Marchand and Pasternak tomorrow night in a game to injury, that just decimates Boston going forward. And Boston's widely seen as a really good team. If the Capitals lost Backstrom and Ovechkin the same night, or they were both out, it would have a dramatic impact on that team. So I don't think that this means that they're necessarily just a one-line team. It means that injuries are, they're that wild card, and when we're making predictions before the season starts, it's that one thing you cannot predict, other than Vancouver will get hurt. Yeah, if you're a Canuck, you're going to get hurt. You're going to miss time. It's basically almost guaranteed. Islanders, Ho-Sang situation continues. Josh Ho-Sang, I want out. Okay, well, don't report to Bridgeport. Just go ahead and wait for a trade. So he's been in Toronto, waiting for a trade. And Lou, this week, has said nothing. And when asked, well, if this continues, isn't he going to be asked to report to Bridgeport? He said basically, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he's in any rush. And I don't think it's an asset that has a whole lot of value either. That's the other. And then the problem is, if he's not playing at all anywhere, that value's only going to drop. Nobody's going to go, oh, hey, he'll be fresh. No, they want to see him on the ice. So at some point, he has to report to Bridgeport, right? That has to happen. Komarov apparently is dealing with an issue with his neck. So he was out with illness, but there's apparently an issue with his neck as well. Here's to hoping he's not out for too long. But the Islanders, despite the amount of injuries they've had, and there's been a bunch, they are still on a 10-game winning streak, and they still look pretty darn good. So, the Islanders have to be really happy about the fact that they're doing so well while they're dealing with so many injuries. And it says a lot about the system they play, and that guys come up and they can just be plugged right in, and they fit right in. and you're not going, oh, well, we did great, but that guy who got plugged in tonight, there were some glaring errors there. He clearly didn't fit in. No, it doesn't happen with the Islanders. So, 10 wins in a row, a lot of injuries. If/when they get healthy, it could be even better, technically. Now, Pierre LeBrun's reporting that Tyler Toffoli may very well be available at the trade deadline. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you called Rob Blake right now and you said, I'm willing to offer you something for Tyler Toffoli, he's going to listen. The Kings are not making the playoffs. There's virtually no chance at this stage that this team can turn it around as it's currently constituted. So I would think that they'll listen to offers on Toffoli. I would think that if somebody came along and said, hey, Kovalchuk's, been slumping. We've got cap space. We think he'd be great here. They're all ears. I just don't know who makes that call. But I would think that if somebody made a phone call right now, I would think there are some LA Kings that are untouchable. Not very many. So we'll see what happens with them. They're a team definitely to watch at the deadline. I think there could be some big moves out of LA because they need to turn this around. But that's your news of the day. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you can, if this video actually posts and doesn't say unavailable. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And somebody get Evander Kane to pay $500,000 to the Cosmopolitan so this goes away. This is sad. You make $7 million a year. I'm pretty sure his actual salary. Let me double check on that. Yeah, I did a search. His actual salary was $8 million this year. He had a signing bonus of $2 million on July 1st. Next July 1st, he gets a signing bonus of $3 million. So just tell him, July 1st to get $3 million. It's right on cap friendly. I'll give you $500,000 on July 1st, and it'll just go away. It'll just go away. Or, since you're making $8 million this year, throw him some money. Just, it's insane. It is completely insane. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I will talk to you again soon, as long as the video's upload and it lets you see them.